Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Janet Crescent.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we are here at Wisconsin Granite. This is such a great showroom to walk into because everybody is just sitting at their desk. I mean, their desks are right here in the showroom, and they're just ready to help you as soon as you walk in.
Absolutely. Cool. And I think we're going to take a little tour of actual big slabs of granite and quartz.
We're going to talk about different types of granite and stone and marble and anything else you might be able to imagine, and they've got it all. It's a huge, huge warehouse in the back.
Great people to talk to if you've been thinking about that update in your kitchen.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the year.
This could be the year. I think this is the year. So, but before that, I don't know about you, but I'm going to get fired up.
Well, okay, so we have Fired Up Pottery coming up. Fired Up Pottery's on Monona Drive, and they have a great Father's Day idea. If you have little ones and you need an idea for Father's Day, Kim, the owner there, boy, she's so good, not just with the art, but with the kids, too.
Yes.
She's going to show us something that a little kid can do with their hand, and I think it's way better than the hand turkeys I remember making.
Right. One thing I love about Kim is that she's just so laid back, and you just know that, you know, whatever chaos kids might bring into her store, she's just okay with it. They're used to it. It's what they do over there. So.
Absolutely. And our next guest, coming up right after the break, thinks it's a good place to be in the doghouse.
Doghouse University. That's Nate Mathis Vargas, the owner. This will be his second appearance, I think, on Wisconsin Family. He's got some great tips and some great new things that are happening at Doghouse University. So some summer considerations and things like that. So we'll look forward to speaking with him coming up right here after the break. So stick with us here on Wisconsin Family. Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are here at Wisconsin Granite down in McFarland, and we're having a lovely time here.
We are. We're going to get a little walkthrough, a little show and tell of some of their favorite projects here. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be good. But first, we're going to talk dogs. Janet, do you know the ASL sign for dog?
Ooh, I shouldn't I?
It is.
Oh, nice.
Because if you're inviting the dog to come out there and you snap.
And how did you know that? You're
Research.
just a treasure trove.
This is Nate Mathis Vargas from Doghouse University. How are you, Nate?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you with us. We're great. So, you know, a lot of people are thinking about, you know, going on vacation and so forth, things like that, or maybe they just got a new dog and they have to work during the day. Obviously, we want to make sure that we socialize our furry friends.
Yeah.
So what are some things that prospective daycare clients should ask of their daycare provider?
There's several things. The main ones are you should be able to see the facility. So when you call and ask, you know, can I stop by for a tour ahead of time? The daycare should be able to take you through and show you where the dogs are going to spend their time. It gives you a sense of security that you know the space is adequate for what they have there. You can also see kind of what goes on, make sure it's sanitized properly, that your dog's going to be in a safe, clean environment. The other thing you want to ask is what their caretaker to dog ratio is, so that way, you know your dog's being watched by people. They're not just, you know, a whole bunch of them just with one person kind of feeling overwhelmed. So that way they're getting the proper supervision while they're there. You want to make sure that the floors are something that's safe for them to play on and slip resistant. Rubber floors are a lot better for dogs to play on because they have a grip to their feet.
Sure.
The polished concrete or epoxy is also pretty good. The floors you want to avoid are ones that have like a grit to them because it can scrape their pads, and especially if your dog isn't used to going to daycare or going, you know, out walking much, it will hurt their feet. You want to check the staff training to see, you know, how much time they have before they're in with the dogs, you know, what they go through as a protocol with that. You also want to make sure that the gates and the ways in and out of the building are double gated, so that way the dogs have, you know, no opportunity just to go from one door to the outside. So at our facilities, there's a gate between the dogs in the play area to get in the hallway, and then a gate between the door and outside, so that way they can't get through, you know, they have to go through multiple ways just to get out.
No door dashing.
No door dashing, because some dogs are good at that. We have a few dogs who know how to open the gate, so if they open one, there's still another one to stop them before they get to a door.
You have a chance to catch them.
Exactly. Yeah. So the other things you want to make sure is that, the facility is, like, we are International Boarding and Pet Service Associated. They have some sort of affiliation with some, checks and balances of what their facility is supposed to do as far as caring for dogs, because in Wisconsin there's no regulations for dog daycare, so we want to make sure that at least they're following some protocol.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
Those are the big ones.
And with the exception of maybe like the floor considerations, that sounds exactly like what you'd consider if you were thinking of taking your child to a daycare.
Exactly.
All of those things. So.
I mean, to a lot of people, this is their baby. This
Right.
is their child. So you want to make sure that you're taking it to a facility that knows what they're doing, and then just open up. And taking care of dogs is fun, but there's also a lot of stuff you have to do with it to make sure that it's good fun.
Right, of course.
Well, I can't imagine dropping off your dog or your kid to a place that you couldn't even see, like where they were going to be for their whole day.
Exactly.
Very interesting. Now, we have summer coming up, and I'm wondering what kind of considerations do you take when it comes into the hot months?
Well, a lot of people assume because they're, that it's warmer outside, they can take the dog for a walk, it's, lighter out longer, that they won't need daycare as much. But, socialization is the big one, to make sure that their dog maintains the same level of socialization. And also, dogs playing outside can get really hot and really quickly. So if they're playing outdoors too much, they can get overheated and then they can get sick, where, the facilities that we run, and most of them are air temperature controlled, so they're, can play inside at a normal degree and they're not gonna get overheated, and they still have the same energy burned off.
Right.
Oh, I see. So if it's hot outside, they're not getting as much exercise because it's too hot to exercise.
Yeah, it's too hot,
Right.
especially for dogs with no muzzle, like bulldogs and Boston Terriers. They get overheated really quick.
Those really short noses.
They really fast. So you want to make sure that those dogs aren't spending too much time outside.
Right.
What are some signs that people might want to look for that their dog is getting overheated?
They're heavy panting. They can't seem to relax. They're trying to move around to lay down too much. Obviously, the drooling and all that stuff is going to be very noticeable, and it's they can't catch their breath, basically. Even if they're just walking, they can't catch their breath.
Okay. And we have just under a minute left, but tell us what are some new things that are going on at Doghouse University this
We're
summer?
very excited. We're starting a new reservation system. Right now, we kind of just take phone calls, and it's very old school, but we're doing a more customer-focused reservation system where the customers will actually be able to access their account and manage it all from their side, because technology is so important nowadays that being able to see that stuff and do it on your own is a big deal, and we've worked with the company for a long time to make it happen. So we're having an app that will be available for customers to see their reservations, buy packages, and the stuff that they need to do. So we're really excited about it. It's about time.
That is very exciting. That's very exciting stuff. Well, Nate Mathis Vargas, thank you for joining us today. So much good information. And if you have a furry friend that needs a place to go and play and meet others, look no further than Doghouse University. Don't go away. There is more Wisconsin Family coming up right after the break, so stick around.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're filming today at Wisconsin Granite, where later on they're going to take us through their showroom and show us some of their favorite projects with granite, quartz, marble, a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be fun. This will be fun too. Right now we're talking painting, maybe a project for Father's Day. We have time, so if you don't have anything lined up for Dad yet, listen up. With us we have Kim. She's the owner of Fired Up Pottery, which is on Monona Drive in Madison. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And Justin's a dad, so maybe this is something you
And
might like.
I'm ready. I'm ready to brush up on my painting. So
Excellent.
All right, what are we doing?
So today I'm going to show you an easy way to do a handprint. Okay. And so the easiest, simple way to do it is use a sponge daughter. So a lot of people think we want to use a paintbrush. We want to use a sponge daughter, cover the hand really quickly, very fast. And if this was a child's hand, it would probably be pretty much already done by now, like that. And you can even have extra color in there, a couple
Sure,
of different
multiple colors.
colors,
Why not?
multiple
Oh, I like
colors.
that.
As long as the kid can't squeeze their hand, we can do multiple colors. So we could, at Christmas time, we do a Santa handprint, which is really cool.
That's cute.
Put it on here, press, hold, and then we do abracadabra, raise up, and there you have a multiple colored handprint right there.
That's cool.
So, yeah, and then one of the things I want to show you is some really simple, easy painting techniques for rim treatment. So one paintbrush, thank you. And a lot of people think that the handprint plates have to be really extra oh, like you have to be really detailed. I'm going to just hand you back
Sure,
paintbrushes. I feel like a surgeon here. This is awesome.
Scalpel.
Okay, yep. And so you can see, it can be as easy as just painting one brush line. And you can also do things like wiggles. So for example, if I come over here and I go wiggle, 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 or I do swirls like that. So little kids can paint. And it doesn't matter, like I'm mixing all this color on one brush. And I want you to see, can you see there's like rainbow things happening?
Yeah.
So we don't have to be afraid of little kids painting. We don't have to be afraid of them. We keep them controlled because we have booster seats.
Sure,
we can
sure.
strap them in.
Yeah. And when you talk
It's
about
really pretty
you
cool.
talk about controlling the kiddos, I think a lot of people who might be watching right now might be thinking, gosh, my kid is so rambunctious, they just break everything in your store. I'm not taking them in there.
When I opened up the store, I was thinking, what's a good amount of breakage? And I'm thinking, yeah, one piece a day. Let's plan on that. Would you believe it's about one piece every 2 months?
Really?
Yeah, okay, that customers break. Staff,
Yeah.
we break maybe one every 2 weeks. But it's usually not customers painted pieces, the good news.
Okay.
It's usually pieces that we're putting out because we're stocking on the shelf.
Sure.
So see, rim and treatments can be as simple as just kind of wiggling on here, and we have lots of idea books. So easy decoration techniques is just put 3 dots together. And it's super easy. We'll do the writing for you. So if you're too scared to do the writing, we can do that. So for example, I don't know, I guess this is kind of really rainbowy, so it's like, this would be a really bright Father's Day. But I can just label it with my name.
Kim, is this a class that people need to sign up for? Is this
Thank
something
you.
you can just stop in any time?
No, you can just come in. We'll help you.
Wow.
So, for example,
cool.
people are really afraid because they're like, as I said, my toddler is going to completely mess this up. And we're not afraid of that. We love kids. We have a little play area.
Sure.
So they can come and paint. And also, if they're old enough to hold a spoon, they can paint.
Yeah,
So we have
absolutely.
something called yellow plus 2. So if we give you yellow
Okay.
plus the other 2 colors next to it,
Uh-huh.
or yellow, plus these 2 colors.
Yeah.
So one or the other, not both. Then we will not get mud.
Okay.
Okay, so
They
little
just swirl
kids.
nicely?
Yeah, these mix really nicely. So for example, because yellow plus blue equals green, if we give you these 3 colors and it turns out a little bit too much on the green shade, then we just put some yellow in there or some white in there. The kid overpaints the green with the bright colors and it still turns out great.
Sure,
So
wow.
kids as young as 14 months
Wow.
can paint. And
Guys been doing
we
this for a
love
while.
this. Oh my gosh.
Kim, how
Little
long
kids
does this
are adorable.
typically take a kid to complete?
This is a great question. We always get that, and I always have 2 answers for it. So if your kids are under the age of 5, maybe 30 minutes to paint a project, so it doesn't take long, but it takes a week to get it back.
Sure.
If you don't have a week, we have a rush fee, just
Okay.
like Fast Pass, just like Priority Mail, just like Express Mail. We can get it to you sooner. We can even do it overnight, but it'll cost you.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
But it's doable.
So don't procrastinate. Yes,
Right, don't
yes.
procrastinate.
Don't procrastinate. And you know what? I have a little bit of extra time here. I want to show
Yeah.
some really cool decorating techniques for fingerprints for Teacher Appreciation Day.
Okay.
So here we can just make fingerprints with the kids. We label them, and then I come back and make them
She's done
into
this before.
animals. So here's a frog, like this. So we can do Teacher Appreciation plates. Jumping little frog like that, dot, dot, smile. And then a ladybug, dot, dot. Antenna like this,
That's cute.
little ladybug, a dragonfly.
And she's just doing this on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
and like that. So we can do like animals and stuff like that. If you just do the fingerprints, you can take it to go at school, and
Yeah.
then we can grab it.
Real quick before we go, how much does
Sure.
it typically cost to do something like this?
Most people spend between $19 and $39 a person.
It's really not bad at all.
Alrighty,
Not bad.
still time for Father's Day, so maybe stop in at Fired Up Pottery. Kim's gonna help you, she loves to help. Alrighty, thanks Kim so
Thank
much.
you very much.
And we have more Wisconsin Family right after this.
'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. I'm standing next to Behar Massini, who is the manager of Wisconsin Granite. How are you, Behar?
Pretty good. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. It's always good to be back in the warehouse. It's a little cold today, but
Yeah.
I think we're going to be warmed up once we see some of the things that you guys offer back here.
Yeah,
So.
and that's also one of the nice things is all this site is all these things are indoors, and you can actually come here and even when it's cold, hot,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
able to come in here and look at them.
That's awesome. So, you know, we talked a little bit. When we were doing the first part of our show, we talked a little bit
Yeah.
about how kitchens and bathrooms, countertops are really a great way for homeowners to upgrade their homes. Can you talk a little bit about why that's so important?
A lot of times, most of the homes that are built 15, 20 years ago are probably going to have the laminate or Corian.
Right.
And over time, they are not lifelong countertops.
Right.
So over time, they do take a beating, whether it's the seam breaks or discolors or something like that. So a lot of people find the option of changing those countertops out to either granite, marble, or quartz. And the reason why a lot of people go with these ones is because they're supposed to last a lifetime. There really is nothing that you can do to granite to hurt it, unless you really are taking a hammer to it and smashing it.
Hopefully nobody's doing that. So,
I hope so neither.
I mean, durability is kind of the king here
Yeah.
is when it comes to making this decision is what it sounds like.
Yep, correct. I mean, all this is natural stone. And the way it's created is over a period of time, you know, through eruptions or whatever they may be.
Right.
They're just cut up into different slices, polished on the face of them, and then we get them here for customers to buy.
That's fantastic. And let's talk about some of the specific materials that you mentioned. You talked about marble, granite, and quartz, and we're going to see some examples of all four of those
Yep.
today, or all three of those, excuse me. So what are we looking at here today? This looks like granite,
So
yes?
this is a granite, and this actually comes from Italy.
Okay.
And these are some of the most expensive stones that we have in stock. But you can see the linear pattern.
Sure.
And it's very, very durable, especially the darker colors.
Right. It's called brown silk. I don't know if
Yeah.
you can see that, but it really does have that affect to it. That's
Yeah.
really, really cool. And you have kind of a tier system. So
Yeah.
tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and tier 4 is the kind of the high end.
Actually, I would say tier 4 is probably like the middle of the
That's the
level.
middle end. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have starting prices at $39 a square foot, and it goes all the way up to $175 a
Okay,
square
so it
foot.
kind of depends on what you're looking for and you know,
Exactly.
what your budget is, of course. So, well, let's see
Yep.
another example. We're going to
Yep.
head right over here. This is the one, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is also a granite. This one
Okay.
comes from Brazil.
Oh, interesting.
And it's definitely got those warmer tones in there that
Yeah.
matches a lot of oak cabinetry. And for somebody just looking to add a little spice to their kitchen, this would be the best way to go about it, because
Yeah.
it just kind of matches everything. It matches all the paint colors, stainless steel appliances, you name it.
Yeah, and I think that's really appealing to me because, you know, when we talk about these being long term,
Yeah.
you know, they last forever. Styles change. I mean, cabinet style change, color
they do.
preferences change. So if you can find something that's going to not only last as far as from a physical standpoint, but an aesthetic standpoint,
Yeah.
I think that's obviously what you'd want to be looking for.
I mean, like I said, this definitely matches with a lot of things, and for a lot of people, this is a safe choice.
Sure.
And this is actually one of our lowest pricing. It's at the $49 a square foot, so it's a
Okay.
very, very reasonable price for something that's considered exotic.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, if you're like us and you don't have a lot of counter space, that really wouldn't be that much when it
No,
comes down
it
to
really
it.
wouldn't.
So, okay, let's go on to the next one. What
Okay.
are we looking at next?
The next one I want to show you guys is the marble. This comes from Italy.
Okay.
So all the marble that we have here is from Italy. And I think one of the characteristics that you'll see with granite versus the marble is marble is going to get a lot of that white color in there. Whitish gray tones that you really are not going to find in any other granite.
Sure.
This works a lot with very modern kitchens, white cabinets, dark floors, you name it.
Right.
We've also been seeing a little bit of a combination where they'll go a little bit lighter on the island and a little bit darker on the perimeter. It's all a personal preference.
I'm always curious to know how people know. I mean, this might be a little bit of an ignorant question,
Yeah.
but how people know, like when they're, you know, cutting these out of the ground, whether it is granite or marble. I mean, you must have people who are specialists who kind of can understand and can take samples and that sort of thing.
Exactly. I mean, most of the quarries that we have, they before they even know when they start digging, they actually know exactly what material it is.
Sure.
And then they'll go after that. So a lot of the marble quarries are just going to have marble, granite is going to be separated, and all that other stuff. But
Okay.
before they even dig, they definitely know.
Okay. Let's look at another sample real quick here.
Another one that I want to show you is this one right here.
Okay.
This is Green Galaxy.
I love this one. This is, I mean, it looks like stars
Yeah.
against a green sky. That is so cool.
And that's why we named it
Right,
Green Galaxy.
right.
So a lot of people will like something like this. It's a little bit darker. It's still got some sort of a pattern to it. and it's beautiful. But you know, upon seeing all these 4 different samples that we've looked at here today, you can get something as dark as this and something as light as that, and that's all natural. It all comes from the ground like that. We don't do nothing to the surface of it, and it's unique.
That's very cool. I want to make sure that we get to quartz, but first,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious, you know, what goes in typically to the decision-making process of whether somebody gets marble, granite, or quartz? I mean, because as a homeowner myself, I'm thinking, well, I don't know what's going to be best for me. I mean, I just kind of look like how this one looks or that one looks. But do you make recommendations on materials specifically?
We always make recommendations. I mean, it all depends on really what you're going to use your kitchen for. If it's a really a kitchen that you like to do a lot of, like to have a lot of friends and have people invite, and it's mostly for show, I would definitely say the marble, because that's where you're going to get the more characteristics, you know, the whiter patterns, and really a neat design that nobody else is going to have.
Yeah.
If you want something that you want to go to town on it and just beat it up, I would say the granite and quartz are probably going to be the best.
Okay. Well, we have a quartz example that we're going to look at in your showroom. Let's head over there.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Sounds good.
So these are some examples of quartz.
Yes.
So let's talk about what we have here. There's so many different colors. I think that's amazing. You know, a lot of people think, when they think quartz, they think white, because they think those little white stones that used to be in, you know, landscapes and so forth.
So these are our quartz samples, and as you said, they come in very different colors. And what a lot of people like is that solid color.
Yeah.
So if you're looking more like grays, whites, you know, they're just more of a solid color. There really is nothing going on into them. Although upon occasion you can get something that is as busy as this, that has a lot of pattern to it too.
And that's a little bit more like the granite that we saw, some of those patterns.
Yes,
but
exactly.
it's quartz. Okay.
But it is quartz.
Okay. So in terms of durability, you know, marble, quartz, granite. What's the order?
I would say quartz, granite, and then marble.
Quartz is the most durable, then granite, then marble.
And part of the reason is because it's engineered.
Okay.
So a lot of the composition can be really tightly put together.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the granite is natural, so it's going to have a lot of veins and fixtures,
okay.
making it a little bit easier for cracks and chips and stuff like that. But in a normal kitchen use, you should never have a problem with either marble, granite, or quartz.
Wow. So these aren't, when you pull them out of the ground, they don't look like this necessarily.
No,
they're manufactured.
They're all manufactured,
Wow.
so these are not even out of the ground at all.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, real quick before we go, can you tell us how long does a install typically take?
Well, usually when a customer comes here, they pick out the stone, you know, we go through the process. Measuring is going to take about 45 minutes to 2 hours, and then the install is going to take 2 to 4 hours.
That's really not that long at all.
No,
That's
it's not. So
fantastic.
it's all done in one day, and everything is done through us.
Well, Behar, thank you so much for the
Yeah,
tour. I
not a
appreciate
problem.
it.
It's
We're
good to
all
have
out of
you guys.
time. Thanks for joining us here on Wisconsin Family, right here at Wisconsin Granite. We'll see you next time.
The beat, clap your hands, let's take control.